Welcome back, everybody. As you probably guessed from the title of the video, this is the cooler that we're going over today. It is from the folks over at Blue Coolers, and 2 years ago now, I think, I did the 50 quart cooler from them. We reviewed that one with the wheels and got a ton of requests from folks saying, I want you to review the smaller one because I don't need a 50 quart. I'm not putting my entire refrigerator in there and just need something a little bit smaller and lighter. So hence the review here that you guys are watching today with the 30 quart. So this cooler's got a lot of things going on for it. We'll just kind of walk through some of them here, and we'll probably touch on more as we go through. It has these two lockdown straps here, which is nice. They're rubberized and they're basically impossible to come undone when you don't want them to come undone. Both of the ends here are lockable, so that way if you want to protect it from wild animals like bears and things like that, you can do so. It's also steel reinforced and has a bottle opener on there, which is a nice little touch on there as well. Both of these sides have our carry handles if you want to carry them that way. It also has handles underneath molded into it. I should mention, if I didn't in the intro, I don't remember. Memory's getting a little rough. It is a roto-molded cooler. So what does that mean? Well, it has to do with the way it's built, and we'll probably roll in some cutaways here, but this thing has more insulation than just about any other cooler, if not any other cooler in its price category. And as you will see here, it should do a very good job in terms of retaining ice, and that's what we're going to test throughout the video. But additionally, the way the top is attached on a hinge is on a stainless steel bar. The same thing here, you guys can see probably these little bolts here. It's a stainless steel bar that's holding in this rubberized tie down here. Everything on here is just super, super well built. On the feet of the cooler itself, we have these little rubberized feet, so that way it won't slide around like if you have it on a boat or in your truck bed. It's not going to slide around on you. They're sort of almost tacky to the feel. So again, ain't going anywhere. And then additionally, with this one right now, the way I have it set it up, but I'm going to remove it for the ice test just for consistency. We have it set up with their accessory kit on there. So we have this little light piece here, which just screws right on there. And then of course illuminates the actual cooler contents there. And then we have this basket here, which you can use for separating different items. Like if you have stuff that you don't want to get wet, for example, it'll keep everything up off the ice. And then we have this separator here, which this is also can be used as a cutting board. And then we have their lock that comes with it. All of these items are accessory kit offered from Blue Coolers, so it comes all together. And then it has this lock if you want to lock it down to keep it, safe from prying paws, if you will. So let's get this sucker filled up with ice and then start the test. So I just went inside and filled it with all of the ice in my house. I thought I was going to have enough to fill it completely. I didn't. Failure. I was a little bit short. Not much though. But just so you know, like whatever results we end up getting with this ice test, it would probably be a little bit better if we actually had completely filled it. As you can see there, we're about an inch shy of completely filling it. But regardless, right now it is 19:58, if you guys can see that on my watch, on the 9th. Monday. So we're going to seal it up here. It's going to sit out in the sun. This particular spot is the same spot that we test all our coolers at here in my yard during the summer. And basically the weather for the next week should be 90s or higher every single day, mix of sun and clouds. And this spot here gets about about 12 hours of sun during the summer in the sun. So it's about as tough as you could get in terms of a test for a cooler. Humidity is going to be off the charts, as it always is here in eastern North Carolina. So we're going to check it every day and just kind of see how that ice level is looking. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. For you guys, it's been seconds. For me, it's been 23 hours since we just recorded that last bit there. And as you can see, it's 1900 there on my watch. It's been sitting out here today. It has been sunny. Definitely over 90 the entire day, super humid, so rough conditions for the cooler. And we'll see how it's doing. And it looks like it's down slightly. Not much, just a little bit. You guys can probably see those levels there compared to what you just saw. And we're going to close it up, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for me. A couple seconds for you. Hopefully you guys can see it on my watch, but it is the next day. It is 2017, and we shall see. And guys, today it was well over 100 degrees. It was super, super hot today. And still there. Still got the ice, but we lost a good bit. Definitely lost more than yesterday, but again, it was really hot today. It was a smoker, and it was very sunny as well. But that ice is easily still halfway up. Close it up, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, it's been another 24 hours, as you guys can see there on my watch. And it was hot today. Again, another day in the triple digits, sunny all day, no rain, no clouds, no nothing. Again, just about the worst conditions, especially considering the humidity as well. So we'll see how it did. Actually, doesn't look that bad. So we have a little bit more water than we did for sure, but still plenty of ice on there. We're gonna close it up. See you guys in another 24 hours. As you guys can see there, it's 24 hours from the last time you saw me, actually 25. It's completely dark out here now, but we have some light, so we are good. Today, it was over 100 degrees with really high humidity by noon. And just so you know, the actual temperature gauge that you guys are seeing photos of, that's actually under my deck, so that's in the shade. This obviously is in the sun, so we'll see. It was a rough day, I can tell you that, for this cooler. As you guys can see, still got ice. Less than yesterday for sure, but it's still there. The beer is still on top. We'll close it up. See you in 24 hours. As you guys can see there from my watch, it is 20:39 the next day. Honestly, I'm not sure if there's going to be ice in here or not after what we saw last night. Today, once again, well into the triple digits. However, we had a southern summer shower for anybody who lives in the south, probably around 5 p.m. And that knocked the temperature down to about 80 for like an hour, and then it went back up into the 90s. So again, really hot, really humid conditions. This is probably not what Blue Cooler wanted their coolers to be tested in, but such is life. All right, we still have ice, as you guys can see, but it's not supporting the beer anymore. So we'll close it up and come back here in 24 hours. As you can probably see from my watch, it is almost 8 o'clock, so almost 24 hours later, and we're gonna open it up. My prediction, before we do, I don't think there's going to be any ice in there. We'll see. Today, just for those who are wondering, it was probably the actually easiest day for the cooler. It was probably a high of around 90, sunny, and average humidity, not crazy humidity like the last few days have been. But there wasn't that much ice in there last night, so we shall see. Moment of truth. I was correct. There is no ice. But the water is still very, very cold. And that beer would still be very, very drinkable for those of you guys who drink Miller Lite anyway. Cue that down below in the comments section what your favorite beer is. Anyway, let's wrap this video up. If you've watched to this point in the video, I think you have a pretty good idea that this was definitely a harsh test. So the folks over at Blue Coolers do say that this is rated for 10 days of ice retention. Under normal conditions, I would say that's probably true. Obviously, these were harsh conditions, so we had the results that we had there. A few things I don't think I mentioned is that it does have a drain hole on the side, which is O-ring sealed, which is nice, so that way you don't have to physically dump your cooler at the end of the day when you're done using it. But yeah, we've had this one in now for, I think, 4 months at this point. It has only been out of the sunlight essentially during the night, and then when it was in my truck going back and forth to Florida, made that trip a couple times, and that's a 12-hour trip from the point that we went to, and obviously had zero issues with ice retention or anything like that during those trips. So I guess you could say normal use. Worked perfectly well, and as you guys saw, even in some extreme conditions with 2 days in, it had plenty of ice, and everything in there would be completely cold, even without filling it completely to the top, which we didn't do as well. So in terms of performance, you guys saw it, it works pretty darn well. Cost is always going to be an important factor. This one here, the base model comes in blue, white, and gray that we have here. And the base model right now is $179. And then they also make one with a marine mat on top, which if you guys want that, it is an option. They do have a nice textured top on here though, so that way if you're standing or something like that on it, you don't have to worry about slipping because it does have that texture built in, but they also offer that marine cover feature. And then they offer a feature with basically the kit that you guys saw here with the basket, the light, the lock, those sorts of things. So that is price point on it. And for a cooler that has the amount of insulation that this one does and performs like it does, it's actually pretty cheap. I mean, that's obviously not cheap. You could go buy a cooler at Walmart for a lot less. But again, for a roto-molded cooler, this is one of the cheaper ones, especially considering that it actually has more insulation than most other roto-molded coolers out there. And it's not super heavy as well. I don't think I mentioned it, but it's right at 21.5 pounds on my scale. So it's portable-ish. Obviously, it gets heavier the more stuff you put in there. But some of those coolers, like the 100 quarts and stuff, they get heavy. This one, with most stuff in it, is definitely manageable to move in and out of vehicles. So it's a cool little size there. But yeah, that I think is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, you can post them down below in the comment section. You could also post over at my various social media sites that you see here on your screen. If this thing drops in price or anything like that, we will send that out in the daily deals email. You can sign up for that here at the link website rather on your screen. We also have a video that basically just sends all the videos that I produced since the last email went out. Generally goes out once or twice a month at most. And the reason for that is if you like this type of video and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We don't do a ton of cooler videos, but we do a lot of preparedness videos. And of course, this fits nicely into that niche. But even if you are subscribed, for whatever reason, YouTube isn't showing my viewers my 2 to 4 videos that I put up every week. So that email is a straight way from me to you. So that way there's no social media giant censoring your eyes from my content. And I think that's pretty much it. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it and look forward to seeing everybody in the next video.